Good morning, dear readers. Really happy to have you with me. I have a cup of coffee. I hope you have something warm to drink because this is going to be a hard 2 pages. We're reading the book Les Misérables of the very famous Victor Hugo. It's not an easy book. I can tell you that last time we were 44 to read, which is really good. I hope we keep it like that because it's a very difficult book. Now, reading is very good for your brain, keeps you young, and you do not have to understand all the words. So don't try to make a list of all the words that you don't understand, but try to follow the story. So we're going to read page 24, 25. And remember, Jean Valjean was not accepted in this inn where he wanted to stay. So he is on the road again. And so it says, allant à l'aventure par des rues qu'il ne connaissait pas, oubliant la fatigue comme cela arrive dans la tristesse. So going on adventure through the streets which he didn't know, forgetting the fatigue, tiredness, the exhaustion, as that happens when you're sad, hein, dans la tristesse, in the sadness, when you are sad. Tout à coup, il sentit vivement la faim. So tout à coup, all at once, he felt vivement, maybe vividly, but maybe even better, strongly, the hunger. So he was really getting hungry. La nuit approchait. So the night was approaching. Il regarda autour de lui pour voir s'il ne découvrirait pas quelques gîtes. So he was looking around him to see if he would not, you see, this is the conditional tense, découvrirait, it's he would not discover some gîte is like a guest house, maybe, yes, a guest house. La belle hôtellerie s'était fermée pour lui. So the nice hotels sector or the nice hotels had closed to him. So he was not allowed to go to the very nice inn where he was just before. Il cherchait quelques cabarets bien humbles, quelques bouges bien pauvres. So he was searching for some cabaret, but maybe we could say a tavern, very humble. Maybe some cheap restaurant or a road restaurant, very poor. So now he was not trying to find a nice place, but just some place to stay. Précisément, une lumière s'allumait au bout de la rue. So exactly then, precisely, a light went on at the end of the street. Une branche de pin pendue à une potence en fer se dessinait sur le ciel blanc du crépuscule. So a branch of pine wood, hanging at une potence, well, we could say a pole, en fer, in iron, so an iron pole, se dessinait. Dessiner, it's to draw, but here I think it's really like it was outlined on the white sky. The sky is white, the white sky of the nightfall. Le crépuscule is the nightfall. Il y alla. So he went there. This little word "y," you will see it very often, and it could be, it mostly is there. C'était en effet un cabaret. It was indeed what did I say? A tavern. Le cabaret qui est dans la rue de Chaffaut. So the tavern which was in the, well, Rue des Chavots, it's the name of the street. So the street is named Chaffaut. Chaffaut, I'm sorry. Maybe I said Chavot. Chaffaut, sorry. Le voyageur s'arrêta un moment et regarda par la vitre l'intérieur de la salle basse du cabaret. éclairé par une petite lampe sur une table et par un grand feu dans la cheminée. So the traveler stopped a moment and looked through the window to the inside of la salle basse, so a low room, éclairé, illuminated or maybe lit by a small lamp on a table and by a big fire in the chimney. So it looks very cozy. Quelques hommes y buvaient. A few men buvaient, were drinking there. You see, we have again this little word, he is there. And so if it ends in AIS or AIT or AIENT, well, it's in fact, it's the simple past, but in French, very often translated by the continuous. So they were drinking there. L'hôte se chauffait. So the host was heating himself, heating up. La flamme faisait bruire une marmite de fer accrochée à la crémaillère. So the flame made bruire, it's like making a soft noise, like a simmering noise. And so this noise is coming from une marmite. It's a kettle, an iron kettle. Yeah, you know, we know fer is iron. An iron kettle hooked on or hanging on, hooked on on a rack. Crémaillère, une crémaillère is a rack. On entre dans ce cabaret, qui est aussi une espèce d'auberge, par deux portes. So one enters in this tavern, which is also a kind of inn, auberge, by two doors. L'une donne sur la rue, l'autre s'ouvre sur une petite cour pleine de fumier. So the one door gives on the street, is on the street. You can go in from the street, and the other gives on a small courtyard full of fumier, that's manure. Okay, so le voyageur n'osa pas entrer par la porte de la rue. The traveler did not dare to enter through the door from the street. Il se glissa dans la cour, s'arrêta encore, puis leva timidement le loquet et poussa la porte. So glisser could be to glide, but here I think it's rather like he slipped into the courtyard, stopped again, then leva comes from the verb lever, means like to pull up, pulled up timidly the lock and pushed the door. So I think he wants to get inside without being noticed. But then somebody says, Qui va là? Dit le maître. Who is going there? Said the master. Quelqu'un qui voudrait souper et coucher. So someone who would like to eat, but it's like to have supper and sleep. C'est bon, that's okay. Ici, on soupe et on couche. So here we eat or we have supper and we sleep. Il entra. So he went inside, traveler. Tous les gens qui buvaient se retournèrent. So all the people who were drinking turned around. Yes, and you know that se retournèrent. So very often in French, you're using what do you call it? Le passé simple, the simple past, which is very often used to tell stories and to write books, but this is not the tense you will use when you speak. When you speak, you will rather use the past perfect or the simple past. La lampe l'éclairait d'un côté, le feu de l'autre. So the lamp illuminated him, like threw a light on him from one side and the fire from the other side. On l'examina quelque temps pendant qu'il défaisait son sac. So, and yes, you know, on can be we, can be they, can be quite a lot of things. So they examined him sometime, quelque temps, while he undid his bag. So he took his bag off his shoulders, but it really comes from the verb défaire, is to undo. L'autre lui dit, the host said to him, voilà du feu. There you have the fire. Le souper cuit dans la marmite. So supper is simmering, boiling, cuit, in the kettle. Venez vous chauffer, camarade. Come and heat yourself, well, at the fire. Camarade means my friend. Il alla s'asseoir près de l'âtre. So he went to sit down near the, well, l'âtre. L'âtre is a bit of an old word. I think in English you would say the hearth, but it really means like the open fire. Il allongea devant le feu ses pieds meurtris par la fatigue. So he stretched out, you see the word long in it, long. So he made his legs long, he stretched his legs in front of the fire, his feet meurtris, worn, hurting, maybe it's hurting, his feet hurting by the exhaustion. Une bonne odeur sortait de la marmite. So a very good smell was coming out of the kettle. Tout ce qu'on pouvait distinguer de son visage, sous sa casquette baissée, prit une vague apparence de bien-être, mêlée à cet autre aspect si poignant que donne l'habitude de la souffrance. So everything you could distinguish of his face under his baissé lowered cap took a vague appearance of well-being mixed with this other aspect so poignant, so touching, or so heartbreaking that gives the habit of suffering. So apparently this traveler is a man who has suffered a lot. So now we're going to the next page, see if I find it. Yes, here it is. Okay, 25, page 25. C'était d'ailleurs un profil fermé, énergique et triste. It was, by the way, a closed profile, so a closed face, but here it's like a profile. Energetic and sad. Cette physionomie était étrangement composée. So this physiognomy, but maybe you can say this appearance, was strangely composed. Elle commençait par paraître humble et finissait par sembler sévère. So, elle, when you say elle, well, it's a man, but when you say elle, it means, well, his appearance, which in French is she, because it's feminine, started by appearing or seeming humble and finished by, or was finally seeming or having the impression of being severe. L'œil luisait sous les sourcils comme un feu sous une broussaille. So the eye, his eyes, luisaient, were glowing under his eyebrows like a fire under a bush. Cependant, un des hommes attablés était un poissonnier qui, avant d'entrer au cabaret de la rue du Chaffaut, était allé mettre son cheval à l'écurie chez la barre. So, in the meantime, one of the men at the table was a poissonnier, like a fish merchant, maybe fishmonger, who, before entering the tavern of the Rue de Chaffaut, had gone to put his horse in the stable at La Barre's place. Chez, it's always at somebody's place. That's when you use chez. Le hasard faisait que le matin même, il avait rencontré cet étranger de mauvaise mine cheminant entre Bradas et, j'ai oublié le nom, je crois que c'est Escoublon. So, this whole thing, le hasard faisait que. So, just by chance, hein? Hasard is really, yeah, a chance. So, just by chance, the same morning, he had encountered or he had met this stranger, this evil-looking stranger, so with an evil-looking face, walking, we see the word chemin, the road in it, walking between Bradas and, I have forgotten the name, I think that it was Escoublon. So he met already this stranger on the road. Or, en le rencontrant, l'homme qui paraissait déjà très fatigué lui avait demandé de le prendre en croupe. Let's already translate that part. So, but when he encountered him, when he met him, the man who appeared already very tired had asked him to take him en croupe, yeah, well, behind on the horse or on the cart, en croupe means behind. À quoi le poissonnier n'avait répondu qu'en doublant le pas. So, to what the fishmonger had answered only, and the word only, yes, I know it's a bit complicated, but it's the ne que. Had only answered by doubling the pace, so by going 2 times as fast. So the fishmonger didn't want to take him. Ce poissonnier faisait partie, une demi-heure auparavant, du groupe qui entourait Jacquin Labarre. Et lui-même avait raconté sa désagréable rencontre du matin aux gens de la Croix de Colbas. So, this fishmonger had been part of half an hour before, so of the group which surrounded Jacquin Labarre, and himself, he had told his disagreeable, so his not very nice encounter or meeting in the morning to the people of La Croix de Colbas. So this fishmonger had already told the people, well, I saw this man on the road and, well, he was evil looking. Il fit de sa place au cabaretier un signe imperceptible. So he made from his seat to the innkeeper a unnoticeable sign. Le cabaretier vint à lui. You say it's not vient. Vient would have been a normal present tense. Here it's vint, and vint is also this passé simple. Okay, so the innkeeper came to him, because the other person, the fishmonger, he did some kind of a sign. Come here, I have to tell you something. Ils échangèrent quelques paroles à voix basse. So they exchanged a few words à voix basse in a low voice. L'homme était retombé dans ses réflexions. So the man, the traveler, had fallen again in his thoughts, in his reflection. So he was gone again in his thoughts. Le cabaretier revint à la cheminée, posa brusquement sa main sur l'épaule de l'homme et lui dit: So the innkeeper came back to the chimney, put suddenly his hand on the shoulder of the man and said to him, Tu vas t'en aller d'ici. You are going to go away from here. So you are leaving. That's what he's telling them. L'étranger se retourna et répondit avec douceur. So the stranger turned around and answered avec douceur. It's like with softness, but I would say here softly. So he answered softly. Ah, vous savez? Ah, you know? Oui, yes. On m'a renvoyé de l'autre auberge. They have sent me away from the other inn. Et l'on te chasse de celle-ci. And we are chasing you from this one. So he's not allowed to stay either. Où voulez-vous que j'aille? Where do you want me to go? But it really says, where do you want that I go? But in English, where do you want me to go? Now, I is coming from the verb aller. It's a subjunctive. If you want me to tell you more about subjunctive in French, please ask me, and I will. It's not very easy. Ailleurs, somewhere else. So he wants him to go somewhere else. Almost finished. L'homme prit son bâton et son sac et s'en alla. So the man took his stick and his bag and went away. So you see this part, the s'en, that's the away part. OK? Comme il sortait, quelques enfants qu'il avait suivis depuis la croix de Colbas et qui semblaient l'attendre, lui jetèrent des pierres. So as he came out of the inn, a few children who had followed him since or from La Croix de Colbas, you know, the other place where he wanted to stay, and who seemed to be waiting for him, jetèrent threw stones at him. Il revint sur ses pas avec colère et les menaça de son bâton. So he came back on his steps, he came back with fury and threatened them with his stick. Les enfants se dispersèrent comme une volée d'oiseaux. So the children, dispersed or scattered like a flight of birds. Okay, we made it to the end. I hope you have read with me till the end. I know it's not very easy, but please keep on reading. It's so fantastic. And when you can read in French, then I think you can read in any language. That's my opinion, at least. Have a very, very nice day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.